What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to do some house cleaning for the Johnny Depp trial. A couple things that have really happened over the last little while. Some things I've skipped over in terms of like the social media angle, and also something Amber's doing in terms of maybe going towards a mistrial. We're going to talk about it, in this video. One thing I want to mention, though, is the talk of the whole Jason Momoa thing. I think that's incredibly interesting, again, just from a public perception point of view. We've talked about it before, where it's like, if she even wins, right? She wins, she gets her 100 million, which, I mean, all the money stuff seems very unlikely, right? But she wins, she still loses. In my opinion, I think people are definitely smart enough, especially when the evidence is thrown directly in your face. You have people reporting on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere, and they're all supporting Johnny Depp. So I really think the public is very smart and very aware. And again, even if she wins, I still think she loses, because if her public image wasn't great before the trial, which it wasn't, it's definitely not going to be great now. And what you basically had, I believe, the series of events is Amber Heard unfollowed him and unfollowed, I believe, the Aquaman 2 official Instagram account, and then she refollowed it. So for some reason, she unfollowed and refollowed. And then Jason Momoa actually followed Johnny Depp on the day he did, like, the whole day pretty much from his story, which I think was Wednesday. I think Wednesday, right? That was the day Jason Momoa followed him on Instagram. And again, like, small thing, and celebrity kind of news gossip. I don't want to, you can only go so far with it, and I don't pretend to be that kind of channel or that kind of person to care, but it is, I think overall it's very interesting, right? Because, like, what does that mean for Aquaman 2's, like, just the fact that he wasn't following him and then now he has to say something, right? It has to. And he filmed with Amber Heard, right? These people, as I said, now, do I think they're literal demons, evil and stuff just because of, like, association? Not necessarily. I don't think they have guts. I don't think they should really speak out, and they didn't, and that's kind of shameful in my opinion. But they went to work with her, they filmed with her, and however they thought of her behind the scenes. But yet again, they made a movie with her, which is, I'm not a big fan of that. I've said it before. I will not watch Aquaman 2 in theaters. Or anything. Like, I'm not paying money in any way to see Aquaman 2. That is just not going to happen. But again, the general idea that he wasn't following Johnny Depp and now he is, I think that means something. You know what I mean? Where it's like, well, maybe he believes the story. Maybe he's skeptical now, like, at the worst. Maybe he's skeptical of Amber. Whatever it is. Again, the press tour for Aquaman 2 was never going to go well, and trust me, it's not going to go well now. It can't. They're going to have to hide her. They're going to have to not have her go on these shows. Just imagine what that... And if they have the guts to do something like that and put her on Corden with Jason Momoa and all these people, go ahead. Drag everybody else in, because now they're all, again, you know what I mean? Like, I like Jason Momoa, but... will I accept the fact that he did the movie with? Well, I guess that's up to you guys, right? But then you have her on the show, and it's like, oh, well, Jimmy Fallon obviously doesn't care. And these people, morally, are they the greatest in the first place? Not really, not even close, right? But it's just a interesting, wrinkle to the entire thing. All right, so you had that. That was a big thing. You also had the makeup company, right, that did the official TikTok, and we all knew this, right? The concealer, whatever, the makeup thing that her attorney in the opening statement of the case said, she wore this, or she wore it, and she also had it with her for the entirety of the relationship, even though that did not become public. You couldn't buy it until 2017, and their official TikTok announced that. So I don't know how you look much worse than, the official company coming out and saying, don't you dare drag us into this, and also you're a freaking liar. You know what I mean? So that's good to see. Now, again, those things can't affect the jury, because that means they're doing the online research, which they're strictly forbidden from doing. But, that makes it into all of our minds. Their lawyers are looking at that. I mean, the stuff, if you're loud enough online, these people specifically in this case, they do look, attorneys do that, especially like these high profile cases. So, I would not be surprised if Johnny's team comes out and says, so you say you had it, you wore it. Did you know it came out in 2017? Did you have like a prototype version 4 years early? You know what I mean? So you can really nail around that and make her look horrible. Speaking of looking horrible. We're going to move to Twitter, right? That umbrella guy, Tugs, who does, a phenomenal job covering this for years at this point. He posted this. I think I saw this on other people as well. And this is disturbing. And so let's read it, and then we'll kind of talk about it. So he says, flyers are being left on cars and handed out at the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial. This, in my opinion, is Amber Heard's attempt to influence the jury and win, or worst case scenario, cause a mistrial, which we'll talk about that. The person doing this is a go-to for Amber too, not some rando. That's his source. That's his opinion. And it's a flyer. And it says, Amber Heard's ex-partner uses online companies and services to harm her and others. For over 3 years, Amber Heard suffers from social media operations, even if she wins cases showing she's a victim of violence. Which, by the way, that's talking about the UK case, which that's strictly forbidden as well. It goes into examples, YouTube bots. So basically, it's just like, I guess, examples of how he's weaponizing the internet against her. YouTube bots, so everybody's just a bot. The petition was a bot. You guys are all bots. None of us are actually real. Reddits, so anything on Reddit in terms of upvotes, things like that. Twitter, any Twitter likes, any Twitter accounts, they're all bots, right? And they give some examples. Now, I am sure there are legitimate bots that exist. I'm sure there, and the funny thing is, and we've made this joke before, anybody seemingly on Amber's side, at least on Twitter, always comes across as a bot. So it's funny that she says he's using bots when it seems like her only supporters on Twitter are also bots. So again, at worst, she's doing everything, and this is something I will not go for. You know what I mean? It's not true. This is hilarious to think that you can convince these million, again, people are watching videos on YouTube. People are making the videos. People are watching live the jury on all of these different channels. People on TikTok. I don't go on TikTok, but my wife does. And I asked her because she was watching some of the compilation clips of Johnny Depp just roasting, Roddenborn. And I was like, are these getting good views? Like, I want, I'm foreign to TikTok. How's it doing there? And she said, like, it's getting loads of views. So TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, right? All these places, they're all fake. None of them are real, and there are a lot of bots that exist, but I would not go for this. And again, like I said, the whole, even if she's won cases or even if she wins cases, that's literally implying, which again, you're not allowed to do this. Just because she won the UK case, you're not allowed to bring that. You can bring statements that Johnny or Amber or anybody made on record in that case. You can bring that in, okay? And that was actually Roddenborn's entire strategy, it seems like yesterday, right? Trying to catch him in the smallest of changes. But what you can't do is use the result. So the fact that she won that is not to be used to influence anybody here. So there is the theory, obviously Tugs has said, I've seen other people say it too, cause a mistrial. At best, you're influencing people, and there's no proof that this was shown to the jury. There's no proof that anybody in the jury saw it. But if they're on cars outside of the courtroom, well, number one, you better be careful about the judge, because maybe they know which car is the judge, but don't put it anywhere near her, because if she sees it or she sees somebody else have it, if anybody with power, a jury member, sees it and hands it over to the judge, which I imagine you'd have to do, any of the security or, the bailiff or whatever, if these people see this, at best, you get a really bad strike on the hand. You have to talk to everybody. You have to talk to the jury and say, hey, like, you have to lecture everybody, which looks bad because you're saying she's doing this and this is not allowed whatsoever and you need to knock it off. And this is, by the way, I think this happened on Thursday. This wasn't on Friday, but now we're 2 weeks. We had the Eve Barlow thing last week, and now this week is so every week there's a new slimy, dirty tactic she's using, because I feel like she has to use this in order to win, right? So you have that, and then at best, I guess for her, if she's going this way, is a mistrial. So a mistrial, again, now I'm not a lawyer, so I'm probably not the right one to go through this. I don't know the very specifics, but just looking it up really quickly on Google, it looks like a mistrial basically is almost like a ceasefire. It's even. Nobody wins and nobody loses. So she, as the defendant, she is not innocent, but she's also not guilty. So you can't say, okay, Johnny Depp wins, but you also can't say he loses. So it's kind of just, it's over. And that happens, what causes that is something like this, something where the case gets so muddied in all of this garbage that you can't draw basically a fair conclusion, or the jury is kind of like compromised. If that happens at any point, it's you literally have to call it as the judge. You have to call it. So now it can be, you can retry it. That is, it's a possible thing, but you also don't have to, and it can just end like this. So maybe that's the plan. Honestly, like, I don't want it to be over. I want to see her. I want to see them call her out for all her BS lies. And, oh, well, why'd you record it? So you're so scared of him, but you recorded him. And also, like, he gave us all of his text messages. Nothing says he ever hit you. But, oh, I recall you didn't give us anything of you. We don't have any videos of you, any text messages of you. Your makeup, by the way, didn't exist at the time. I mean, oh, you talked to the ACLU literally about Johnny. So the whole idea that it wasn't about him. Well, we have the documents official to prove that that's just BS. Like, these are huge. The defamation thing back in 2016, where she's like laughing about, about all this stuff. It's like, we have all that, and we're going to show it to you all. And it's going to look really bad, by the way, for her. So I want that. Maybe she feels, well, he told his story. I defended myself as well as I can right now. And we're just going to start tampering so badly that they have to kind of call it even. I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to win. But maybe there's enough idiots out there that'll still believe me, and I'll still be the face of domestic abuse and all that stuff. And it's like, sweetie, no, you won't. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. So that's that's a tough one. And it even gives now I don't know if that website, but it gives a website. So also, I guess it's doing kind of two things, right? Number one, the big thing that I noticed was that referencing the other court, which is a big no-no. Obviously, the examples are full of BS, right? But it also, not acknowledges, it pushes you to do outside research. Right? What's the thing the judge tells the jury every day? Like, no talking to whatever, no outside research. She says it every time they go on lunch, anytime they have a break, any weekend, she says the same thing. And having a website to basically say, hey, here's some examples. Hey, here's a website where you can do further research into what's going on here. You're asking people, you're directing them to do that, which is, and if the jury gets that, now they click on it. Now that, again, though, that should not happen because the jury is not allowed to do that. But also, the beginning part is to get you. You know what I mean? The beginning part is to say, hey, did you know this? And they're like, oh, no, I did not know that. And it's like, oh, you stupid idiot. You know what I mean? Hopefully that doesn't happen, right? Because otherwise, they didn't pay attention enough beforehand. They're easily swayed. That's not necessarily something you want, from a jury member. So, but it's not looking good because all somebody has to do is mention. Even they don't even have to report this to the judge or the jury or anybody. Again, Johnny's attorneys, like, how did they catch Eve Barlow? You know what I mean? I do believe they did some research and maybe they saw a huge Twitter user or a huge YouTube video that gets millions and millions of views or hundreds of thousands of likes or whatever, or a TikTok account. I'm sure they saw it. And we're in the whole, there was the videos made of her passing notes. All it takes is them to see one TikTok of that or one Twitter account of a picture with a circle like highlighting it. It only takes one. And then Johnny Depp's attorneys brings that to the court's attention, or brings that to the judge's attention, right? So all it takes is for them to see one person, doesn't have to be Tugs, one person spread this flyer image. That's it. And it's not game over, but it's a heavy slap on the wrist. Like, maybe you should drop a brick, or maybe you should throw a vodka bottle, whatever you want to do on the wrist, just on the wrist. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, so you know when all these videos go up. I'll probably be live streaming later today about the case, just kind of talking about my general thoughts. And then obviously next week, Monday through Thursday, we'll be doing the daily highlights recaps thing, okay? Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next video.